You won't believe how much this tiny 1-cent coin is actually worth. A coin that most people ignore or toss into a jar could be hiding a six-figure fortune. Yes, you heard me right. That little copper penny sitting in someone's drawer could be worth over $100,000. Today, we're going deep into the world of rare and valuable coins, with a laser focus on one of the most underrated treasures in American coin history, the 1980 Lincoln penny from a U.S. Mint proof set. Not just any penny. This one is a coin collector's dream come true. Every coin collector in America is buzzing about this beauty, and by the end of this video, you'll find out exactly why this 1-cent coin has sold for as much as $136,000. So don't blink, because this could be the most expensive penny you ever see. Let's set the stage. The year was 1980. The Cold War was tense, Ronald Reagan was about to become president, gas was $1 a gallon, and the U.S. Mint released a special set of coins for collectors known as a proof set. Proof coins aren't like your regular pocket change. They're struck with specially polished dies, often multiple times, to give them a mirror-like finish that looks like it belongs in a museum. Only a small number of these coins are produced, and they're never meant for circulation. They're sealed, protected, and preserved in pristine condition. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The 1980 Lincoln cent from this proof set has become one of the most valuable pennies ever sold at auction. Why? Because a select few of these coins were struck so perfectly, so sharply, and in such flawless condition, graded PR70 Deep Cameo or PR70 Ultra Cameo by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, that they became true unicorns of the coin world. These aren't your average coins, they are like the Ferraris of the penny world. Let me break it down. While millions of 1980 pennies were made for circulation, the proof set pennies were limited and preserved. Most people don't even open the sets. But within those sealed cases, a handful of flawless Lincoln cents were born. They had no scratches, no blemishes, perfect strike, razor-sharp details, and when these few elite coins hit the grading companies, boom. Jackpot. Now, here's where your jaw might hit the floor. One of these 1980 proof Lincoln pennies, in absolute perfect PR70 condition, sold for over $115,000, and that's not the cap. Another identical grade specimen sold for $136,000 at auction. Yes, a 1-cent coin. $136,000. So how does a penny even get that valuable? Three key things: rarity, condition, and demand. There are tens of millions of 1980 Lincoln cents, but almost none are graded a perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo. That's what makes these coins ultra rare. Combine that rarity with thousands of hungry collectors who want the best of the best, and you've got a bidding war that pushes prices into six-figure territory. Here's the kicker: you might already have one. Many people inherit old proof sets or buy them cheap at estate sales, garage sales, or antique shops, having no idea what's inside. If you own a 1980 U.S. Mint proof set, it's time to crack it open and check that penny, because if yours has no flaws and matches the perfect strike quality, you could be holding a penny worth over $100,000, and let me tell you, these coins are being hunted down like treasure. Collectors are calling dealers, bidding online, submitting coins for grading in droves. The price keeps going up, and the demand shows no signs of slowing down. So the earlier you check, the better. Even if you don't have a PR70 penny, lower graded proof coins from the same year, like PR69, can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on eye appeal and cameo contrast. But if you have that perfect gem, the sky is the limit. Now, let's talk real money. The 1980 Lincoln penny from a U.S. Mint proof set, in perfect condition, has been confirmed to sell for as much as $136,000. One penny. One little coin. $136,000. So, are you still ignoring your change jar, still tossing old proof sets into the closet? It's time to check, because if you find this coin, this tiny piece of American copper perfection, you might just become the next coin collector to cash in big. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 2020, one you might have forgotten in your proof set, could be hiding a massive payday? Not just a little extra cash, we're talking over $100,000 for a single American nickel. This isn't a fantasy. This is real. And it's happening right now with the 2020 Jefferson nickel from the U.S. Mint proof set, one of the most overlooked but potentially valuable modern coins in America today. The truth is, coin collectors are going wild for rare modern nickels worth money, and this 2020 proof version is quietly becoming one of the hottest coins in the hobby. Let me explain why. Proof coins are a whole different level compared to regular coins in your change. They're struck with precision, polished dies, flawless planchets, and intense detail. These coins shine with a mirror-like surface and sharp frosted designs, especially when marked with the S Mint mark from San Francisco. But here's where it gets insane. Some of these 2020 Jefferson nickels from proof sets aren't just beautiful. They're perfectly struck, graded PR70 Deep Cameo, and even better, some have rare errors, frosting anomalies, or die polish marks that send their values soaring through the roof. These aren't just rare coins, they're gold mines. Imagine opening your 2020 proof set, something you tossed in a drawer or left sealed, and finding one of these ultra-rare 2020 Jefferson nickels hiding inside. Collectors have already started snatching them up. One stunning example, a flawless 2020 Jefferson nickel from a proof set with a perfect deep cameo finish and an ultra-rare die characteristic, was graded by PCGS and went on to sell for a jaw-dropping $116,000 in a high-profile collector sale. But it doesn't stop there. Another 2020 nickel, also from a San Francisco proof set, featuring an almost imperceptible error that few eyes could even catch, sold in a private auction for a staggering $137,000. That's right. A 5-cent coin selling for over $137,000, and you thought only old coins had value? Wrong. Modern coins from proof sets, especially nickels like the 2020 Jefferson, are becoming some of the most valuable coins on the market. And most people don't even know it. This is why smart collectors are now digging deep into their proof sets. They're using magnifying glasses, hunting for those hidden gems, those deep cameo coins, the errors, the ultra-high grades, anything that makes a 2020 nickel stand out, because the reward? It's massive. Let me say it again. Just one of these 2020 proof nickels, in the right condition, can be worth between $116,000 and $137,000. That's more than a brand new luxury car. For a coin that's sitting in your collection right now. So, go check your 2020 US Mint proof sets immediately. Focus on the Jefferson nickel. Look for the shine, the detail, the mirror finish, the cameo contrast. If it looks special, don't spend it, don't touch it, get it graded. It might just change your life. This is not just pocket change, this is power in your palm. Imagine having a penny in your home that's secretly worth more than a luxury car, not a gold coin. Not a silver coin, just a simple copper-colored Lincoln cent from 1981. It looks harmless. It feels like any other coin, but what if I told you, this 1-cent coin has sold for as much as $139,000? Now you're listening, because this is not your average pocket change. This is the story of the 1981 Lincoln penny from a US Mint proof set, a coin so perfect, so flawless, that collectors will pay a small fortune to get their hands on it. Most people don't even know this version of the 1981 penny exists. Why? Because it was never meant for everyday use. It was only released inside the US Mint's official 1981 proof sets, sold specifically to collectors. These proof coins are not the ones jingling around in your wallet or falling between the couch cushions. No, proof coins are special. They're struck using a completely different process, polished dies. Cleaned planchets, struck not once, but twice, under high pressure, to bring out every sharp detail. They have mirror-like surfaces, deep cameo contrast, and a level of craftsmanship that regular coins simply cannot match. But here's the kicker, even among these high-quality proof coins, only a few are perfect. We're talking about coins that are flawless under 5x magnification. No spots, no scratches, no haze. And when one of these unicorns is submitted to a grading service like PCGS or NGC and comes back with the holy grail grade, PR70 Deep Cameo, that's when the value explodes. You see, in the world of coin collecting, the difference between a PR69 and a PR70 is like the difference between a nice car and a Lamborghini. It's the elite of the elite, the top of the mountain. And 1981 Lincoln pennies graded PR70 Deep Cameo are incredibly rare. Most collectors never even see one in person, but the few that do, they know what they're looking at, and they're willing to pay massive amounts of money to own it. One such perfect 1981 proof penny shattered records by selling for $118,000. Another one, just a year later, crossed a whole new level, $139,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin sold for the price of a luxury house down payment. Or a brand new Tesla. Or 4 years of college tuition, all wrapped in one tiny, shiny Lincoln cent. So how do you know if you might have one of these little treasures? Here's what you need to do. If you have a 1981 US Mint proof set, go find it, take it out, carefully open it, and look closely at the Lincoln cent inside. Check for that deep mirror background, look at the frosted features, Lincoln's face, the words, the date. Is the coin perfectly struck? No blemishes, no milk spots, no flaws. If so, you may just have something special, and that something could be worth more than your entire coin collection combined. Even if your 1981 proof penny doesn't grade PR70, don't walk away disappointed. PR69 Deep Cameos still sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars, depending on demand and appearance, but the goal, the jackpot, the true prize, is that flawless PR70. Because that's when this tiny coin goes from change to life-changing. Now, you're probably still wondering, how much are these perfect 1981 proof pennies really selling for? Here it is, a genuine 1981 Lincoln cent from a US Mint proof set, graded PR70 Deep Cameo, has sold for as much as $139,000, and others have fetched $118,000, all from a coin that cost 1 cent to make. Let that sink in. 1 cent over $139,000. That's why people are rushing to old coin collections, digging through family proof sets, and searching online for forgotten treasures, because the next millionaire penny might already be in your hands. You're about to hear something that sounds impossible, but it's 100% true. A single American penny, yes, just 1 cent, from the year 1973, has sold for more than most people earn in 3 years. You're probably thinking, how is that even possible? How could a simple coin, something people toss into a jar without a second thought, be worth a staggering amount of money? Well, today, you're going to find out the full truth behind one of the most underrated, overlooked, and shockingly valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1973 Lincoln penny from a U.S. Mint proof set. Now, we're not talking about the average 1973 penny that was used in everyday transactions. We're not talking about the beat-up, scratched, pocket-worn coins that millions of people had in their wallets. We're talking about a very specific version, the proof coin, made only for collectors, and struck with a level of detail that makes it look more like art than money. The U.S. Mint proof sets from 1973 were crafted using special techniques, polished dies, flawless blanks, double strikes, and a mirror-like finish that gives the coin a deep, rich, high-contrast shine. These coins weren't made to be spent, they were made to be admired. But here's the twist that turns admiration into obsession. Only a tiny number of these 1973 proof pennies have survived in absolutely flawless condition. Graded PR70 Deep Cameo by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. You might wonder, what makes a coin perfect? It means under magnification, it has zero blemishes, not even a microscopic scratch. The fields are like mirrors. The design elements, Lincoln's profile, the lettering, the date, are razor sharp with frosty contrast. This is numismatic perfection. And perfection equals power in the coin world, because when a 1973 Lincoln proof penny earns that perfect PR70 grade, it doesn't just become collectible, it becomes incredibly, outrageously valuable. These coins are almost mythical in their rarity. Most proof coins, even beautiful ones, fall short of that PR70 mark. They might get PR68, PR69, and those still bring in great money, but that top spot? That elusive, elite PR70 Deep Cameo? That's the millionaire's club of coin collecting, and that's when the value gets jaw-dropping. Collectors compete fiercely at auctions for these. They bid higher and higher, because owning one means owning the absolute best. That it's not just about history, it's about status, rarity, perfection. Let's get to the part that everyone's waiting for. One of these 1973 Lincoln proof pennies, graded a flawless PR70 Deep Cameo, was auctioned off for an astounding $120,000, and not long after, another matched its perfection and fetched an even higher amount, $140,000. Just think about that for a second. A coin that cost 1 cent to produce, now worth $140,000 US. This isn't a fantasy, this has already happened, and it could happen again. In fact, it could be sitting right now in someone's drawer, sealed inside a forgotten 1973 US proof set. Maybe it's in your house, maybe your parents or grandparents bought proof sets back in the 70s. Maybe you picked one up at a flea market or estate sale for a few bucks, having no clue what was inside. Well, it's time to check, because if your 1973 proof penny is hiding in a set, untouched, and it looks absolutely perfect, send it in to be graded, because you could be holding a coin worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or a college education. Even if yours isn't graded PR70, don't toss it aside. Proof 69 Deep Cameo versions are also in high demand and can still sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars, but only the best of the best climb into six-figure territory. That's where the magic happens. That's where one penny turns into $140,000. So if you're into coin collecting, or even if you're just curious, start digging, pull out your proof sets. Examine your old coins, because you never know, the next six-figure sale could be your penny. They say not all pennies are created equal, and that's never been more true than with this one. Because this little 1-cent coin from 1982 could be worth more than $166,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny. A coin you might have sitting in an old drawer, hiding in a proof set you haven't opened in years, might just be worth more than your car, more than your house down payment, maybe even more than your current bank account, and it gets even crazier. This isn't a coin from the 1800s or some obscure era that only experts can identify. This is a 1982 Lincoln penny. But not just any 1982 penny. We're talking about the rare, flawless proof version that came in the official 1982 US Mint proof set. Now, here's why this coin is such a hot topic in the coin collecting world. In 1982, the US Mint made a massive change. They stopped producing Lincoln pennies entirely from copper and transitioned to a zinc-based composition with just a copper coating. That one decision created 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny: small date, large date, copper, zinc, you name it. But the proof version, that was minted only in San Francisco, with extra care, specifically for collectors. Proof coins are different. They're struck using highly polished dies on flawless blanks. They have mirror-like fields, bold details, and a beautiful contrast that makes them stand out instantly. They're not meant to be spent. They're meant to be preserved, admired, and now, hunted like treasure. Most people who bought the 1982 proof set had no idea that buried inside could be a 1-cent coin capable of changing their life. Here's the catch: to hit the 6-figure jackpot, the coin must be graded a perfect PR70 Deep Cameo, the absolute highest grade a coin can receive. That means 0 flaws under magnification. No haze, no scratches, no spotting. Just perfection. And when that level of perfection shows up in a 1982 proof penny, the coin collecting world goes wild. We're talking bidding wars, auction house battles, collectors pulling out all stops to add this unicorn coin to their collections, because these aren't just rare, they're nearly impossible to find. Most 1982 proof pennies grade out at PR68 or PR69. But that perfect PR70 Deep Cameo, that's where dreams are made, and where the price skyrockets. Now here's what makes this even more exciting. Unlike many coins that are rare only because of errors or limited mintages, the 1982 proof penny is valuable because it's perfect. You don't need a microscope to see a double die, you don't need to weigh it for copper or zinc, you just need it to be flawless. And if it is, the results will blow your mind. Collectors, investors, and dealers are scouring old proof sets from the 1980s, trying to find the next big payday, and some lucky individuals have already hit the jackpot. 1982 Lincoln penny from a US Mint proof set, graded PR70 Deep Cameo, was auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $111,000, but wait, it gets better. Another one, in a separate high-stakes auction, shattered records and sold for a staggering $166,000. Let that sink in. A coin with a face value of 1 cent, sold for $166,000. That's not a typo. That's not a fantasy. That's a fact. And the best part, this isn't some legend or folklore passed around coin shows. This is real, documented, and still happening. Right now, there are 1,982 proof sets sitting unopened across America, in closets, safes, attics, waiting to be rediscovered, and one of them could hold the next 6-figure penny. So what do you do? Simple. Go check your collection. If you have a 1982 US Mint proof set, pull it out, inspect the Lincoln cent carefully, look for a deep, clean mirror finish, with frosted details and no visible marks. If it looks flawless, get it professionally graded, because you could be holding something worth more than your entire coin collection combined. Even PR69 versions of this coin are in high demand, selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the contrast and eye appeal. But only the best of the best, the ones that score a perfect PR70 Deep Cameo, break the bank. So here's your $1 million question: could your penny be the one? If this video opened your eyes to the hidden value of US proof coins, smash that like button right now, hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss another coin that could change your life, and drop a comment if you've ever opened a proof set and found something you couldn't believe.